CTX-1301 recently submitted to the FDA in a new drug application and was accepted. And the FDA also assigned a PDUFA date, which is the date when they're going to decide whether or not it's approved in May of 2026. So, Dr. Childress, that brings me to my question for you, which, if approved, what does this mean for patients?
Well, the way CTX-1301 is designed, it's actually designed to be effective early in the morning, throughout the school or work day, and also into the evening. So what it means is that we're going to have another option to treat ADHD, and we are going to have an option where you may not need to take a booster dose because it's working in the morning and it's working in the evening. The way the medication is designed is a trimodal release, and 35% is released immediately in the first 30 minutes. Another 45% is released at 3 to 4 hours to keep it going through the day. And then at 7 to 8 hours, another 20% is released to give you a soft landing and help you get the stuff you need to get finished in the evening and get settled down and get to bed.
Okay, and it sounds like CTX-1301 addresses a lot of the shortcomings that you mentioned, and including the one that I think is important is diversion. Because a lot of children may take the drug, and I believe when they're in school, they're actually not allowed to carry it on them. So this kind of sidesteps that issue, doesn't it?
It does, and it's really problematic if somebody's taking a short-acting medication at school. And I can give you a real-world example from yesterday. I had a 12-year-old. We had screened for a clinical trial, and she was taking methylphenidate, short-acting, just because of insurance issues, in the morning and at lunchtime at school. So a dose at home and a dose at school. And to participate in the study, she needed to stop her medication. It wasn't working all that well anyway. Mom stopped it at home, but they didn't stop it at school. So she came in for her baseline visit yesterday, supposed to have been off medication for a week, and she wasn't because the school didn't get the communication to not give her the medication.
The importance of treating ADHD was made a little bit more clear, I think, in a recent study that had to do with some patients in Sweden. I think it looked at several hundred individuals and found that having ADHD treatment, I think it was mostly methylphenidate, resulted in lower risk of suicide, lower risk of risky behaviors, and a whole host of other things. I was wondering if you had seen that study and if it confirms any other studies that were done on a similar topic, and what do you think that means for the importance of ADHD treatment? Because sometimes there's some criticism about treating it.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And thanks for showing me that study. I actually pulled it up and saw the data. And that's not the first time that we've seen data like these from a large database. The Scandinavian countries are great because they have universal health care, so they have data on all of these folks. And we know that treating patients with medication will decrease depression, it will decrease suicide rates, it will decrease driving accidents, and it's also going to improve functional impairment. So they're going to improve functioning. People with ADHD have a lot more jobs than people without ADHD. They do a lot of job hopping, they get fired, they have a lot of symptoms that cause them to get fired. If you think about it, if you forget something, your boss is probably going to forgive you. But if you curse them out, you're probably going to be looking for a new job, and there are associated features that go along with ADHD that stimulants also help treat. So people are less likely to curse their boss out and more likely to be able to keep their jobs.